everybody. I'm Jorge Lago from ANFACO, and I will talk about our work in the Seafood Tomorrow project regarding the detoxification um, procedure to reduce PSP, paralytic shellfish poisoning in mollusks. As all you are aware, bivalve mollusks are marine organisms that feed on plankton present in the water column, and depending on several ecologic questions, planktonic toxic species can proliferate in the water column and causing a harmful algal bloom. And during these episodes, the mollusks become toxic and are not suitable for consumption. Usually, after the bloom disappears, the mollusk can lose the toxicity and are safe again to be consumed. But sometimes the length of the bloom is very big, and it can have very important questions, economic questions for the producers. So depending on the planktonic species, the blooms can induce different toxic symptomatology, and usually talk about ASP, DSP, or PSP episodes. In the case of DSP, which the diuretic, the molecules involved are lipophilic, and in the case of ASP and PSP are hydrophilic, and this is an important question in the development of the procedure. So according to regulations 853 and 854 2004, in order to protect the public health, harvesting areas of mollusks are closed when toxin levels reach a certain level in the mollusk flesh. And in the case of PSP, the limit level is 800 micrograms saxitoxin dihydrochloride equivalent per kilo. The closure of the harvesting areas have important economic consequences along the mollusk value chain. Not only producers, but also the production plants, transforming factories, and the trading value, as well as the tourism. So in this table, these are data from an Azimuth project, which the framework program 7. The annual losses for the mussel industry, and I talking just the mussel, not other mollusks, in Europe was 32 million dollars a year, and it's a mean in the 2000 to 2009 years. I give data from the three groups of toxins because it's not possible or very difficult to separate losses the different toxins, because they can co-occur, and you can have an episode with PSP and ASP, or for instance. So the aim of this work was what to do when you get a toxic batch or a situation where the mollusks are toxic. Of course, after analytical results, who gives you a value over the legal limit, you will have a product which is not suitable for market, and you would be obliged to destruct. But with this procedure, you can use an industrial processing, which is easy to implement at the transforming factory, and you would get an edible product ready for the market. So as I said previously, the regulations 853, 854 ban the harvesting of mollusks when the toxicity is over 800 micrograms saxitoxin per kilo. But there is an exception for this level in the European legislation, which allows to harvest and process the giant cockle, Acanthocardia tuberculatum, in production areas where the PSP level in the edible parts of these mollusks are higher than 800 micrograms per kilo, but lower than 3,000 micrograms per kilo. And this legislation establishes the conditions of harvesting, processing, and control all the production. This is the normative. This is the 9677 EC Commission decision of 18 January 1996, which establishes the conditions for harvesting, processing of certain bivalve mollusks coming from areas where the paralytic shellfish poisoning levels exceeds the limit laid down by Council Directive 91 492 EEC, which is now is not in force. It was substituted for later normative. This is the closed protocol which has been to be used in the giant cockle. Here you are the raw product, and here you are the final product, and basically it's a several steps of washing and cooking the mollusk and taking out some non-edible parts. And with this, you can wash out part of the main part of the PSP toxin, because, as we said, is hydrophilic. So after cooking and washing, the hydrophilic PSP toxin goes out. Well, what we do in this work was to collect natural toxic samplings from all over the Iberian Peninsula, in Galicia, Portugal, Andalusia, and Catalonia, and in different blooms episodes with the two main genera which are responsible of PSP, which are the Alexandrium and Gymnodinium. Of course, we have to got specific permissions to harvest toxic mollusks from close harvesting areas. The protocol stated in the European normative was applied to mussels, clams, and scallops with minor difference, which are mainly, we did not separate any part in the case of mussel and clams, and the effect was studied also in canned, which is the allowed oh my god, the allowed product in the European Commission, in the European normative, and also we use the pasteurization to check if it can be safe also. So we compare the raw material versus traditional canning, traditional pasteurization, and canned and pasteurized product after we apply the detoxification protocol. The analysis were performed by the current methodology, which is the pre-column HPLC FLD method from AOAC, and were performed, as I said, in two laboratories, ANFACO and IRTA. Well, these are the results we got. Here you are the toxicity of the raw product. This is the legal limit at 800, and we get from more or less 1,600, doubled of the legal limit to not detected after apply the protocol. From another batch from 4,000 to detected but below the legal limit of 800. And in this case, which was the most toxic sample we got in the project, who was about 9,000, and this is 10 times, more than 10 times the legislated level. We did not get a safe product. I mean, the product was over the legal limit of 800. So this must be taken into account. In the case of clams, from 1,000 micrograms, we got to not detected. And in the case of scallops, from 3,000, we got to safe limit, so to safe levels also. So for conclusions, this detoxification procedure was able to reduce PSP toxin in contaminated mussels, clams, and scallop below the legal limit. And it's very important that the procedure can be easily applied at processing facilities. And 85% detoxification rate is attained in all samples, and this means that an upper limit in the raw product, which can be processed, is necessary. I mean, as you have seen, when the toxicity in raw product is very, very, very high, you get a product that is not safe for consumption. So we need an upper limit for the raw product, which can be processed in this cluster. Nevertheless, a change in the current legislation will be needed to apply this procedure. And for instance, expanding the currently normative in force, the 96/77 EC Commission decision, or with a new one. And in this sense, we have done or write a legislative proposal of how we think it can be right, and it has been submitted to competent authority, and with the help of the Spanish competent authority, they are helping us to prepare a presentation to go further and present the data to the European competent authority and to ask for change in the legislation. Of course, the decision is from the Commission, not for us.
Okay.
And this is a disclaimer. Of course, the responsibility is us, not from the grant. And that's all. Thank you.